Hey everyone, welcome to this revamped, like I said, revamped version, or updated version, more improved version, if you will, of episode 7 of the M.O.V, looking at my VHS collection. It's the first media overview episode of 2011, the first one in nearly a year. Now, you're probably asking why I call it the Revamped. Well, for some of you that are subscribed to my channel, here's what happened. I did the video on this, the original video on this yesterday. Unfortunately, the video came out, but there was no audio. That's right. The video came out, but there was no audio. So what happened? Well, I didn't know about this. So I didn't know about it. I figured it's just show me, because at first I thought something was a little off, I looked at how big the file was, and when I noticed there was no minutes of how long it was, I'm thinking something's not right. So, I figured probably no big deal. I find out it's a big deal because you need volume if you're going to post a video. Yeah. So anyway, all the other ones, including part 3, which is about 7 minutes longer, part 3, which is 7 minutes longer, have volume. So, I don't know. My only guess, this is just my guess, is that I have the Norton antivirus program on my computer. So my only thought is that the Norton antivirus was probably doing a virus scan at the time and it did something. I don't know. So anyway, let's talk about my VHS collection, which I originally talked about, or part of it, which I originally talked about in the original first part. So anyway, let's start this off, okay? As you can see, we have the Berenstain Bear VHS tapes. We have the Berenstain Bear VHS tapes. Now apparently, let's see here. There we go. Apparently, the only ones you can actually see are up to Christmas tree. The other ones I'm going to have to probably bring out little by little. So anyway, let's talk about some of these volumes, shall we? Let's talk about some of these VHSs that I bought over the years. Now, these four that you see here, are actually volumes based on the original 1985 to 87 animated series, which aired on Saturday mornings on CBS. That's not a lie. That's not a lie. The Berenstain Bears actually had a Saturday morning cartoon which ran for about 2 seasons. Now, just like any Saturday morning cartoon or weekday afternoon cartoon in syndication, the cartoon series itself got a series of volumes of videos, or basically got volumes of videos based on the series. Now, the first volume we have here is based on what Mike Berenstain has said is one of the best-selling stories, or one of the more popular stories, and that being The Messy Room. Now, if you watch the Multimedia Chronicles here on YouTube, the Multimedia Chronicles here on YouTube, hosted by Shane, or Zanazarik, whatever you want to call him. I apologize if I can't pronounce his YouTube channel name that well. But if you watch his videos, you may have noticed back in October he did a video talking about the VHS tapes that he collected of the Transformers. And that he said back in the day, a VHS tape with one episode would cost around $15 to $20. Well, the Transformers, I believe, would be around $20, but these, I believe, were around like $15. So anyway, these were released by First Time Video and Random House Video, and these had 1 episode each. You see, and these were all 1 episode each. Well, basically what it was is that 1 episode was 2 mini episodes. Basically, they were 2 11-minute cartoons. And on here we have The Messy Room and The Terrible Termite. And this is volume 1. That's right, this is volume 1. Now, I don't have all the volumes, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I don't. But that is volume 1. Here we have Trouble with Friends, and added on it the coughing catfish. you may notice that it's got the Blockbuster stamp on there of previewed. And it even says it right there, Blockbuster Video, and then when you open it, you get the Blockbuster thing. So, but anyway, but this was actually sold by another company, by another store as well, online, called bregames.com. So, yeah, and this one, like I said, has Trouble with Friends and The Coughing Catfish. Trouble with Friends I got on DVD. I recorded it off television, but there was times that it was eluding me until finally I was able to get it. But I still got the VHS just in case. Now this volume is volume 6. Before I put this down, this is volume 6 right here, Trouble with Friends. Stand up there. Now this here, it's a little worse for wear because I purchased this online, but it's volume 7, and it's Berenstain Bears and Too Much Birthday and To the Rescue. And again, released by Random House and Random House Home Video and First Time Video. And again, from what I have noticed, these were all released in around 1988 and 1989 on video, so that was pretty cool. But that's volume 7. Again, the cover is a little worse for wear. They told me about that when I purchased it, but they did say the tape was in good condition. Now here we have volume 9, which is Berenstain Bears Get Stage Fright and Go Bonkers Over Honkers. Right there. And again, like I said, these tapes, like any Saturday morning cartoon series or weekday afternoon syndicated series, were all released in separate volumes, even if they were a few years later from the original release. So that is the Berenstain Bears original 1985 animated series on VHS. Not all the volumes, but 4 of them. Volume 1, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 9. Now, over here, we have the Berenstain Bears, the Bears Christmas, plus Inside, Outside, Upside Down, and the Bike Lesson, released by Random House Home Video and Beginner Book Video. That's right. This is actually when this was released, I believe, in, it looks like it says 1990 this was released, believe it or not. This was actually 1990? Yeah, 1990 it was released on home video, I guess. Yeah, 1990. And it basically takes the Bears Christmas, which was released in 1970, Inside, Outside, Upside Down, 1968, and The Bike Lesson, 1964, and puts them together in this volume. Now, it's not animated. Basically what it is, it's, like I said, it's not animated, but what it is it's actually kind of like, well, the thing is, back in the day, and they even do it today nowadays with DVDs, but back in the day, these kind of VHS tapes that came out from places like Beginner Book Video, basically they had the storybook itself on VHS. So it's like you were reading the book, but you were reading the book, but somebody was reading it for you. They were narrating it for you. So on here we have the Bears Christmas, again, along with Inside, Outside, Upside Down, and the Bike Lesson. So it's pretty cool for a younger person if you're looking into something like that. Pretty cool for a younger person. Then right here we have the original 1979 special, The Bears Christmas Tree. That's right. This was the original and first Berenstain Bears animated special on television. This was released, of course, by Kid Classic Home Video. That's right, Kids Classic Home Video, back in 1989. Kind of surprised by that they didn't release it on by Random. Random House didn't do it. Oh well. But Kid Classics released this in 1989. And it's a pretty good special. It follows almost step by step of the original book itself. So it's pretty fun. It's a really good special. If you've never seen it, apparently it was sold by. Apparently it was originally rented at a place called Paramount Pictures Video. I don't know what that is. In the 914 area code. So it might be around California. But anyway, I saw this and I figured I was going to add it to my collection. So there you go. Berenstain Bears Christmas Tree, the original 1979 animated holiday special, the very first one. And for me, it kind of holds a little significance because I was only about 5 months old when this came out. Alright, I apologize first of all if the thing's a little crooked, or if it may seem crooked to you, maybe not. Now, let's take a look at these three right here. These are the other Berenstain Bear videos that I have. Sorry about that. But right here, we start with the Berenstain Bears and Big Paw, which was a 1981 animated special, released in 1981. This one, of course, is not just about Big Paw, but it's also a Thanksgiving special. That's right, it's actually a Thanksgiving special, but instead of calling it Berenstain Bears Thanksgiving, they call it Berenstain Bears and Big Paw. Meet Big Paw. And again, really, just like this one, it was released by Kid Classics Video in 1989. So that's pretty cool. It's a good. Tape's a little worn, a little bit in certain areas, but still pretty cool. And then we have Berenstain Bears Play Ball, also released, I believe, in the spring of 1981, also released by Kid Classics Video. And here's the thing about specials like these. Basically back in the throughout the 80s, early 80s, mid 80s, and at times late 90s, cartoons or cartoons or book series like this, cartoon series or book series, whatever, or franchises overall that had animated relation to it, sometimes would have a special in the spring. Even if it had nothing to do with a holiday, they would have a special in the spring. And one of those specials was the Berenstain Bears Play Ball, which apparently is a good story. It basically focuses on the fact that, Papa feels as though Brother's going to be the next Bear Ruth, if you will, in their terms, next Bear Ruth. But he doesn't realize Sister is just as good, if not better, than Brother. So, it's a good special. Definitely check it out if you ever can find it. I know I did. And then, of course, we have the 1982, that's right, 1982 Berenstain Bear Valentine special, Berenstain Bears and Cupid's Surprise. This was released by Kid Classic Video. However, it says Good Times Entertainment, but it doesn't have nothing on there, which is weird. Can you believe that? Nothing on there, but it is what it says it is. It's weird. But it's actually a pretty good special because it definitely stays true to the Valentine special. It's definitely a Valentine special, and it kind of tells the story. Basically, it focuses on the fact that Brother is getting these letters from a secret admirer. He doesn't know who his secret admirer is until later on at the end when he finds out it's Honey Bear. And this is actually the first introduction of Honey Bear, except they have Honey Bear designed as a giant, not as we've seen in this original 85-87 series, or the series in the 80s. You get what I'm saying? But overall, it's a fun special. You should see it if you ever get a chance. So, Berenstain Bears, Cupid's Surprise, and that is my Berenstain Bears VHS collection that I bought over the years. you got any comments on that, go ahead and let me know about it. Sorry about the shaking, if you will. But, you know, let me know about it if you have any comments. So, let's take these down now. Let's take these down. Let's take them down, shall we? Put them back where we found them. Actually, a few of them have to stay out, but anyway. We'll figure it out later. Now, let's focus on another series that came out on VHS. This series came out in the 90s, believe it or not. And I'm going to try to get it in order as much as I can. Thing's persistent. Here we go. Alright. So, what's the series I just put up, you're probably wondering. Well, in case you've never heard about it, I've talked about it a couple of times on my channel. I've talked about it once or twice on my channel. But the series I'm talking about is called Secret Adventures. Now, if you don't know what Secret Adventure is, again, for some of you that didn't see it on my channel, let me explain what Secret Adventures is. Secret Adventures basically tells the story. It basically is a series that tells the story of a teenage girl named Drea Thomas and her two babysitting charges. That's right, the two babysitting charges are, trying to think, Rebecca and Matt, that's what they are. Rebecca and Matt are her two babysitting charges. These two little kids right here. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why is it called Secret Adventures? Well, let me explain. You see, there's always a lesson to be learned in every episode. And believe it or not, it's a Christian-oriented show. It's hard to believe, but it is. It is a Christian-oriented show. So anyway, you're probably wondering, why is it called Secret Adventures? Well, let me explain. See, Secret Adventures is, like I say, the premise of a lot of the lessons learned. You see, what happens is that Drea Thomas, and excuse me for a second, let me get a drink of my coffee here. Went cold, but still good. But again, the thing about the series, like I said, the thing about the series is it has lessons to be learned in every episode. And the reason it's called Secret Adventures is because Drea Thomas takes herself and her two babysitting charges, these two kids here, Matt and Rebecca, on animated secret adventures. That's right, animated secret adventures. Now you think to yourself, oh, they're just going to go on animated adventures as animated versions of themselves, right? Wrong. You see, what they do is when they go on a secret adventure, yeah, they go into a cartoon world, but they get turned into different kind of animals that will be associated with the lesson of that secret adventure and with the situation that they're dealing with in real life. Like, for example, in episode 1 or volume 1 called Spin, the animated portion of it has them turning into fish. Like Drea has them turning into fish, mammals. So in other words, Drea turns into a dolphin, Matt turns into a pufferfish, and Rebecca into a goldfish. Now, that's this volume right here. And it's a pretty fun series. I mean, it's award-winning series, and it's actually been talked about in a lot of the family Christian-oriented magazines. So that's episode 1. Now episode 2 here is Snap. This is episode 2 right here. And basically, the animated secret adventure has them turning into dogs because they end up losing, I think, one of their neighbor's dogs that they're watching or something like that. So they have to go on an animated secret adventure as dogs. Unfortunately, at first, they kind of let their dog instincts take over. Instead of trying to find the lost dog, they end up playing instead of, trying to find the dog. So yeah, they turn into these little dogs here, so that's pretty cool right there. That's episode 2. It's called Snap. Now episode 3, or volume 3, is called Smash. And the secret adventure takes them to a jungle. That's right, it takes them to a jungle, and it turns them into animals of that jungle. Like Drea turns into a giraffe, Matt turns into a monkey, and Rebecca turns into an elephant. And again, like I said, a lot of these animated adventures deal or help them deal with the situation and the lesson that needs to be learned in the episode. Then you have episode 4 of volume 4 called Shrug, which guest stars Michael W. Smith. And for the lesson here, they get turned into skunks. That's right, they get turned into skunks for the lesson here. That's pretty, again, all the animated adventures that they go on, secret adventures if you will, help them deal with the lesson and situation that needs to be learned, or taken care of, or figured out, whatever you want to call it. Then we have here episode 5, or volume 5, which is called Snag. It's basically a Christmas episode or Christmas special, and here they turn into mice to deal with the situation, to deal with the they turn into mice to basically deal with the situation, the lesson that needs to be learned there as well as figured out. Then we have Slam, which guest stars AC Green, and for this secret adventure they turn into penguins. And again, like I said, the animated secret adventures to help them figure out the lesson to be figure out what lesson needs to be learned and how to figure out a certain situation that they're in. All right. Now we turn over to here. We got one more volume as well as an extra volume of Snap. But right here is the last volume, which is volume 7, and it's called Split. Basically, this is kind of like deals with the fact that Drea may be moving, and Rebecca and Matt may be losing her not as a babysitter but as a friend. So possibly for one last time, and I'm not going to give much away, but possibly for one last time, to figure out what lesson needs to be learned here, she takes them on an animated secret adventure. And here's what happens. They go on this animated secret adventure as caterpillars. That's right, the caterpillars. So what do? Well, to avoid being eaten by some birds, they decide to cocoon themselves. That's right, they cocoon themselves. I'm not lying here, folks. They cocoon themselves. And how do they cocoon themselves? Well, doing what caterpillars naturally do. They spin cocoons. And of course, Drea has to finish up her cocoon by zipping it up. But anyway, and here's what's funny about the secret adventures. Here's what's unique about the secret adventures, if not funny. When they cocoon themselves, they go through fall, winter, and then up to spring. And this is all basically in the same timeline as in the real world. So basically in the animated world that they're in, time stands still in the real world. while they go through different seasons, if you will, in the Secret Adventure animated world. And anyway, what happens is they turn into butterflies and they kind of learn the lesson there. Overall, it's a great episode. And then, of course, like I said, I got an extra copy of Snap here. I got this, I believe, I don't know where I got this one from. I think I got this from a CD trade post when it was known as Game Exchange, I think. CD trade post at Game Exchange was right across the street from where I lived. And I went there and I saw this, and I thought to myself, looks interesting. Looks really interesting. Well, actually, I saw this. Well, actually, the one I saw first was Shrug, because I looked at it and I'm thinking, that's weird. Looks interesting. Check it out. It was a good decision. Then I went on and bought the other ones via Canadian mail or something like that. I don't know. Because actually, I think I had to get them through a store in Canada. But then this one I bought at I think it was CD Trade Post or another video/game exchange place around Lawrence, Kansas. But bought this, so I have 2 of these now. But overall, it's a great series, and that's one of my video VHS collections that I purchased and put together throughout the years. So, Secret Adventures. Now let's put these down as quickly as we can without making a mess. And focus on another collection of VHS tapes that I bought over the years. And it's a series that I think we all know quite well. It's a series we all know quite well, and I recently started buying these because even though I liked the series when it first came out and still did, you know, there were just times throughout the years and even today that and I'm pretty sure a lot of people like me, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree, there are times that people like myself will get back into certain things and want to purchase like the VHS tapes or whatever. So here we have Tailspin. That's right, we have Tailspin. Disney's Tailspin, and this is all 8 volumes that I know of. I'm not sure if they added another volume or so, but this is Tailspin from Walt Disney Television or Disney Animation. Now, the one thing about Disney one thing I will say about Disney, when it released a lot of the Disney Afternoon related shows onto VHS, they always had 2 episodes per volume. So I can understand, like I mentioned earlier, if a volume costs $20 or near $20 because they have 2 episodes. 15 at the time in the 80s and early 90s I can understand. But I'm pretty sure these weren't $20, and if they were, then, you know, so what. But anyway, I actually purchased these again from, I don't know if it was a store in Canada or a store in Florida, I can't really think of it right now. But I purchased these in a set, the entire set. I purchased them. It's hard to believe, I got them all. But anyway, let's take a look at them. Now, the names of the DVD, the names of the VHSs are not the names of any of the episodes except for the last one, and I'll get into that when we get to it. But here we have what I think is the first volume, and they are numbered by volume. The first volume, which is called True Blue. And on here it's got the episodes from Machinery to, it's got from Here to Machinery, as well as the Bluest of Blue Bloods. That's right, from Here to Machinery, as well as the Bluest of Blue Bloods. And that was pretty cool. The Bluest of Blue Bloods is one of my favorites because it's pretty funny. Then we have That Showbiz, which is volume 2. And it deals with, it has the episodes Stormy Weather, as well as it has the episode, one of my personal favorite episodes, of Mommy for a Day. So it's got Stormy Weather and Mommy for a Day, which was one of my personal favorites. And it's also got one of the old bulletins. See, it's even got when they were advertising the Rescuers were going to be coming out to video. And they said, and look at that, $25 for that VHS of the Rescuers Down Under when it was going to come out. Now, Volume 3 is Jackpots and Crackpots, and the episodes on here are A Touch of Glass and Her Chance to Dream, which is I think one of the more powerful, if not one of the more humorous, if not one of the more powerful towards the end of it, episodes of Tailspin. So, right then, you can see they got the sticker now instead of just, like engraving, just, I guess, laser printing it on or something like that. So, Jackpots and Crackpots, that's Volume 3. Volume 4, we have Fearless Flyers, and on here you got Jumping the Guns, as well as Mach 1 for the Gipper, and again, you can see the difference on the inside. Basically they laser printed that one, and that's Volume 4. Then here on Volume 5 we have Treasure Trap, which is again laser printed, kind of laser printed on, I guess. And on here we have episodes Idle Rich and Polly Wants a Treasure. And as we get over to here, and I'm checking my time. I gotta speed this up real quickly. Over here we have Volume 6, which is Imagine That, which has Flight of the Snow Duck and Flight School Confidential. Then over here we have Volume 7, which is called Wise Up, and it's Molly Cuddled and The Sound and the Fury. And we have Volume 8, which is actually the name of the episode, Secret Search for the Lost City. So, my Tailspin VHS collection, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I gotta speed this up real quickly because I'm running out of time here. Now over here we have my Tiny Toons collection. We'll get that into view there. I'm just gonna put them like this. Here we have It's a Wonderful Tiny Toon Christmas Special, the one that was aired on Fox and at times was aired on Nickelodeon. Here we have Tiny Toons Music Television, which contains the episodes TT Music Television and Toon TV. Here we have the best of Buster and Babs, which has Promise Her Anything and 13 Something, as well as we have How I Spent My Vacation. Then, right here, we have the X-Men collection. Of course, here's the movie of X-Men from 2000, right here. It's the only VHS X-Men one that I bought. Then we have X-Men Savage Land, Savage Heart, Part 1 and 2, and the Dark Phoenix Saga, right there. Then we have Beyond Good and Evil, right there. And then of course we have the original 1989 pilot for a series back then called Pride of the X-Men, right there. So that's my X-Men collection, and again I'm speeding through this because I'm running out of time on my memory card. Now right here, of course I've talked about this in various videos, we have my Sonic SatAM VHSs, released by Dig Toontime Video. And here we have Sonic Racer, and on here is Sonic Racer as well as Sonic Boom. Here we have Hooked on Sonics, which has the episode Hooked on Sonics as well as Warp Sonic. And here we have Supersonic, which I believe is the first volume, because on here we have Supersonic and Sonic and Sally. And the one thing I like about these real quickly is the fact that they have Sonic and Sally on the top as to say, yeah, these are the two main stars of the show. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's my Sonic SatAM VHSs, and I got these through a store in Canada as well online. Now, last but not least, we have my Chippendale Rescue Ranger collection. I actually bought these, most of these I think, at Hastings at separate times. Here we have Undercover Critters. Undercover Critters which has the episodes Adventures in Squirrel City, as well as Three Men and a Booby, right there. Here we have Danger Rangers, which has Kiwi's Big Adventure, as well as Bearing Up Baby, which guest stars Humphrey the Bear. And here we have Crime Busters, which contains the episodes Calories Not Included and Piracy Under the Sea. So those are the episodes. So that's my Rescue Ranger VHS collection, and these are the VHSs that I originally did in part 1, in the original part 1 of 4 of episode 7 of the M.O.V, the media overview. But hopefully now there will be volume. No, there will be some audio and along with video. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I thank you all for tuning in. If you got any comments, let me know. Comment section down below. A little plug: if you haven't heard of the Multimedia Chronicles or Zazarik, watch those. His channel is pretty good. He's very interesting. And really, that's all I could say. I'm sorry if I sped through there because I was running out of time. So anyway, that's my entire VHS collection here on the revamped version of part 1 of 4 parts of episode 7 of the M.O.V media overview, inspired by the Multimedia Chronicles. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you tune in next time for whatever I think of talk about next here on the M.O.V. So till next time, peace out, God bless, take care.